Hi all, welcome back to the channel. This is HC's Dad, and this is another Raid Shadow Legends video. You may have seen I put up a playthrough of Bommal 90 hard a few days back, but I wanted to jump on here and kind of talk about the process of that I used to get through Bommal 90. Obviously, been able to take out the normal boss and the previous stages up to the hardest, which is the 90 here. But I did not have an answer for Bommal 90 until I acquired um, actually yeah until I acquired Lady Annabelle. Go here in the index and check her out. There she is. So, I mean, obviously, I was aware that Lady Annabelle was basically the cheese method that a lot of people used to get past the stage. Believe me, I tried lots of other things. Up to and including YST's sort of comp with Nishak and getting a bunch of bombs on the boss to essentially try to one shot it. The issue I had is I wasn't able to get the the attack high enough on Nishak or be able to pair that with the right combination of defense down and weaken, all those sorts of things that can assist you in getting the amount of damage you need to do it. I just wasn't able to accomplish that. So I was frustrated for quite a while with that, and then sort of randomly um, one day uh, with I mean, it's not, the summon pool's not up here, but basically the summon, one of the summon pools is active, and Plarium provided us actually enough of these crystals or whatever these are, prism crystals, prism shards. Then it provided us with enough prism crystals to get one um, prism shards, and I was able to do that, and I was fortunate enough to actually pull Lady Annabelle. At that point, I knew that I would eventually be able to gear her up in Regen and Immortal, which was a sort of a story all its own, and get her to um, solo the content, right? Well, that was almost true. I'm going to pull up Lady Annabelle here and show you kind of the gear, because the gear hasn't changed um, since I've cleared it, and I subsequently changed my team up, and I'll walk you through all of that before we get. Oh, what am I doing? Um, but anyway, here's the story with gearing her out. I did put her in um, regen and immortal. My regen slash immortal gear is pretty awful, honestly. I need to definitely go out and grind farm some regen, and take a much closer look at the immortal that I hold on to, because apparently I've either not gotten anything decent or thrown crap away. The best um, the best gloves that I had for her is actually this 4-star pair that was sitting on somebody I probably geared 3 years ago. It does have a double speed roll. Um, Even the crit rate, I guess that doesn't really matter. But no, the HP gauntlets with double speed, um, which the HP is helpful, but if it were a 5 or 6-star, obviously that'd be way more helpful. Double speed's always nice. But you can see, even trying to use the best of the gear on my account in terms of HP, um, defense. I did glyph a number of these pieces up, some extra speed and as much extra HP as I can get on them, even flat HP. Every little bit helps. And even with all of that, um, the best that I was able to get her to is 76,000, about 2,300 on the defense, 240 speed. I mean, the speed is nothing. She could be a slightly lower speed and still make this. I think Ash's video showed his at like 229, um, but she had much higher. She had like 95,000 HP or something like that, if I remember correctly. But that's all that really matters here is keeping her alive, um, and moving pretty quick. The rest of it doesn't matter much at all. Obviously, she is booked, and it's frankly the passive that when one of the big bombs blows up, it does 40% damage, but she gets a 50% heal. Net win there. Um, and I'll show you the team setup when I get there. But yeah, fully booked. Masteries all the way down to War Master. Um, Spirit Haste ends up being important, I think. Add an extra 24 speed there. Um, and and yeah, that's pretty much that. I mean, like I said, the Life Drinker is a little bit extra healing. You obviously want the healing, and I went with the HP and healing tree over in Sport, and all the way down to War Master to do a little bit of damage. It wouldn't hurt, certainly for stats or otherwise, if I were able to get a soul on her, but don't have one of those. Um, so anyway, that's sort of the story with Annabelle. Let's talk about how we initially did it, and then how we ultimately ended up being able to cut our time down uh, after the fact. So I will go here, and I'm just going to drop these three out for now. And this is the original way that I went through it. It was just Nishak to kind of kill the waves off, and if fortunate enough to get to the boss, maybe put one round of bombs, just do some initial damage, and then it was just Annabelle um, firing away from that point on. It ended up being between a 10 and 12 minute run. Again, not 100%. You get bad RNG, and because my Annabelle's not quite as tanky as I would like her to be, or she maybe needs to be. Um, she definitely can die. Um, and it was interesting. My son looked at this and said, "Well, why don't you just add some other, support around her and see if they can survive for a little bit?" And I thought about that, and and then you may have seen it when I popped in here, but um, this is sort of what I came up with. And ran with this crew. Let me walk you through the team setup while we're over here. Um, you can see with Nishak, um, I don't think I turned off anything on any of these in the first round. Do whatever you want. The second round, however, I kind of want to save the big hitter for the boss, second wave. So turn off Unclean Banquet for Nishak, let him do whatever else. With Annabelle, not worried about that, even anything with her there. We'll talk about something we did with her on the third round, but Newt turned off Blessed Bash. Definitely want to have that available right away when we get into the boss fight. Wukong, do what you want. And then Cold Heart, turn off the Heart Seeker. And then going into round 3, obviously the things that we turned off for round or wave 2, we definitely want to open with Unclean Banquet, get some bombs out, and do that and prioritize that as much as we can. With Lady Annabelle, I did go ahead and turn off this Sanguine Exchange. I don't want her doing anything with buffs. and I certainly don't want her trading her HP or her health with anybody else on the team. Just let her do her thing by herself. So I turned that off for the boss fight. And then Newt with the Blessed Bash with the triple hitter. Obviously, want to open with that, and we want to prioritize that. And Sun Wukong, frankly, the only reason he's in here, I mean, he's a great champ, but his ability to revive every 3 turns, and provide a little bit extra damage along with Lady Annabelle, again turning off the Sanguine Exchange so that they don't like trade their health in the middle of the fight and throw things off. He ends up really helping apply some damage, speed things up. He's also, I believe, got a. I mean, he's certainly got a soul on him. I think he's got smite, so or brimstone, and so that's helpful as well. I'm not sure he lands it because his accuracy is 278, which is not terrible, but not great either. And then finally, Cold Heart, get her there. If she can get there, try and get a Heart Seeker off. I don't even recall if she did on the video they recorded. But that's the setup for the team. And yeah, that's basically that. I'm gonna pause here for a second. I'm gonna go load up the video of the run and kind of jump to a little bit of that, and then we'll call this a video. All right, so I will be right back. Okay, and I'm back. That took me a minute, but you would have no idea. All right, so again, this is what we looked like jumping in here. Same team that I had defined before. Could play on this, and let it play through the waves. Show you what happens when we get to the boss, and then once we get to the part where it's just Lady Annabelle and Sun Wukong, we'll fast forward to the end, take a look at the time, and sort of call that a video. If you got any questions, certainly leave me a comment down below. Happy to answer anything. But being free to play, the thing I find about building these comps that I see in from other content providers or content creators is that essentially, my Great Hall and my in my equipment, while it's advanced, maybe relative to other free to play players, because it is a relatively in-game account. But I have not spent a ton of time farming gear, and I certainly haven't been as meticulous about making sure that I hold on to every good piece. So I'm sure that stuff has gotten deleted that shouldn't have. But anyway, that being said, still working my way through most of the solutions to this stuff. Once I apply myself, I generally get through it relatively quickly. You see, we got to Bommal with both, or with pretty much. Let me go back just a minute. Yeah, so we come through to Bommal, still a full team. I don't. Let's keep an eye on this and see if nope, Nishak and Coldheart don't get a single attack in, but you notice that Newt got one round of his triple hitter in there, and because he's able to freeze the side bombs there, he gets a second round of his Blessed Bash. And there's a really nice. There was a really nice surprise for me at the end of all this, but I'll hold off on that for just a second. And you see Sun Wukong's already gone down a couple of times. Lady Annabelle's just chilling over there, healing up every round. Um, yeah, the side bombs obviously don't scare me because she out heals those. Each one is 40%, and she heals 50% for each one that goes. Um, and it just kind of is a repeat of this process you're seeing right now, with her and Sun Wukong just chipping away at him. Go ahead and jump over here to the... Oh, too far. Way too far. Come on. We'll just play out a little bit here. So there you go. 549, a little bit under 6 minutes. You can see we had a run at some point of 415. I don't recall that, but I suppose they keep track of things for a reason. But anyway, somewhere between 4 and 6 minutes for Bommal 90. That seems pretty good to me. The one thing I did want to point out, though, is when we get to the end here, you'll notice that even though he only survived a handful of turns, Newt still comes through with the most damage dealt, which is kind of crazy. But I guess this does take into account also the damage on the waves. So maybe he didn't do as much against the boss as these two, but he did get his triple hitter off 3 times or off twice. So it's a pretty good chunk of damage. Anyway, that's that. So Bommal is sorted, which is a good feeling. Now on to the next one, right? Because um, all right. Um, because as you can see, and this won't be nearly as much as of an issue, but um, now I'm sitting on Scarab. It's been a few days. Again, I did re-gear my Armiger into destroy gear. Still got some work to do though, because I haven't been able to clear that yet. But again, I think that's just a matter of me moving some gear around and getting the right people in the right places. But so that's next. Once I've cleared that, there'll be videos for that as well. Probably won't go into as much detail as I did here with Bommal, because I know Bommal is a pain in the backside for a lot of people out there. All right, so there you go. If you have any questions, let me know. If you like the content, let me know that as well. Um, like, comment, subscribe, do all those things for us. Help us out. And everyone has a great night, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.